What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Nothing But Skills, and today we're going to be talking about 5 things you need to know about skills and skill builds that will help you improve your overall build and gameplay in the Division 2. We all know with Title Update 5, we got a huge update to skill builds, and if you haven't tried any skill builds, you're missing out because they're a lot of fun and it gives you something to do besides just shoot your gun down range. So we'll get into that in just a second. Make sure if you're new to my channel, first time watching a video, always hit the subscribe button, turn notification bell on, so when I release a video, you guys get notified. And if you guys have any questions, use the comment section down below. I'm pretty active in my comment section, and I'll answer those questions to the best of my ability. So let's get into it. So the first thing we're gonna dive into is skill power, and I see this a lot in my comment section. Skill power. Some people say, oh, I'm running like 3,500 skill power. You need more skill power. And let's talk about this a little bit. So skill power does not affect how hard your seeker mines or turret damage is. Now, what I mean by that is if you're running 0 skill power and you're running 3,000 skill power, your turret, your seeker mines, whatever skill you're using will do the same exact damage. Now, what changes that are the mods you put on there. So there are different mods you can add. You can add skill haste mods, you can add damage mods, and those will increase the amount of damage that your seeker mine does or that your turret does. Now, one thing that can affect the damage of a skill, something like the seeker mine, is stacking explosive damage on your build. So you will get that no matter if you have 0 or if you have 3,000 skill power. So that's why I tell a lot of people sometimes having a balance between maybe 1,500 to 3,000 skill power is more beneficial than having something that you're stacked at 3,000, because you can put a little bit more emphasis on your overall build than just straight skills. So remember, on these mods, you can put skill haste, skill duration, skill damage. They also have the battery utility packs. So there's a lot of different mods you can put on here, and this will help you tweak your build, and just using the right type of mod could change your skill build tremendously. The next thing we're gonna talk about is how do we get our skill power up to unlock these mods without having to stack too much skill power on our build. So there are a couple ways you can stack a lot of skill power in your build without putting skill power rolls on there, and that is with these utility mod slots. Check out this one right here. This one gives me 111 skill power, but it gives me 256 hive skill power and 205 turret skill power. Now I have a couple of these stacked on my build, and this is a great way for you to unlock those mods, because remember, the mods is what's gonna give you the damage. I have one right here that has Seeker skill power. I have one that has Firefly skill power. Underneath, I have Seeker skill power, Turret skill power. So stacking these throughout the build will let me unlock those mods with only having 1,200 skill power on my build, because I don't usually stack too much skill power on my build itself, like on the rolls. Like check this one, I have 73. On the backpack, I have 512, and that is all the skill power rolls I have stacked on this build. Everything else is skill haste, and then the utility mods that are gonna help me hit those numbers. And when we look at my skills, you're gonna see, wow, skills almost has 2,700 on one of his skills, and then like 2,500 on his other skill, but he only has 1,200 skill power stacked on the build itself. So remember, utility mods are a great way for you guys to stack more skill power instead of stacking that one little skill power of 300 or that one skill power of 500. So if you can find a couple pieces that have more utility mod slots, that might be more beneficial than having a piece that has just one utility mod with skill power on it. The next thing I want to talk about is damage to elites, because on most skill builds, you won't stack a lot of damage to elites, but a great place to do that would be on the mask, right? Because you can get these rolls up to 55%. But one thing to be cautious about is not all skills at the moment are affected by damage to elites. Now it looks like the developers have been addressing this, and they said that they do want to have damage to elites to work on all skills, but I'm going to show you one skill in particular that does not take into account if you have damage to elites on your build or not. So let's take a look at it. So we're going to take a look at this build right here. So this mask has 0% damage to elites. So I have 0% damage to elites on this build, and look, my damage per bullet is 22,000. 22,000, and then once it gets into health, it goes up to 24. But besides that, 22,000. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a mask on that has 38% damage to elite. So we're gonna change out this mask right here, and we're just gonna put this on. And remember, this isn't a turret based build. I just wanted to throw this on for you real quick. So we're gonna grab that turret. So we're waiting for my procs to go away. They did. And then look, give it 1 second. 22,000. The same exact with 38% damage to elites on this build. So one build had 38% damage to elites and the other one had 0. And everything else was exact same. And the damage of the bullets to named enemies was exactly the same. Now, I've been told that on your seeker mines and other explosive damage based skills, damage to elites does work. Now that is something you guys can test out, but I'm letting you know, not all skills take advantage of that damage to elites. They did say in title update 6, they would like to add that to everything. So that could be something that's changing in the future. But as of right now, not all skills take advantage of the damage to elites. So you need to test that out to make sure you're not wasting a roll on your mask where you can maybe add some skill power or add some skill haste and change up the build just a little bit. So the fourth thing we're going to talk about is skill power versus skill haste. So I got this a lot. A lot of people have been asking me this in most of my comment section. Hey, what's the difference between skill power and skill haste when you're stacking it on your build? So remember, one thing about skill power is skill power just allows you to unlock mods. Skill haste took over cooldown reduction, and now skill haste reduces the time that it takes for you to get those skills back quicker. So right here, if I switch to a skill haste mod, I can drop my seeker mine down to 8.6 seconds cooldown time. Now, if I run the extra mines, it pushes it up to 11 seconds. So skill haste will improve the cooldown of your skills. So skill haste can be put on the skills themselves with skill mods, but there's also gear sets that unlock skill haste by just stacking a couple pieces like the brand sets. And then also you can run skill haste on the holster. You can run skill haste on the knee pads. But remember, there are brand sets, different brand sets, like China Light can give you 30% skill haste if you run a 3-piece. A 1-piece Alp Summits will give you 20% skill haste. So that is another place for you guys to get skill haste on your build. On my builds, I like running a little bit more skill haste on the build itself, and then I use my mods, my utility mods, to add more skill power. And that's just how I like running my skill builds, because I hate waiting for cooldown, right? I want my skills to be in my hand as much as possible. That way I can just throw my skills out and let them do the work. Now, some of you guys might want to stack more skill power because you want your skills to do way more damage, but take a little bit longer to get back. Just, you have to decide what you enjoy more, if you like having the skills in your hand or if you like just waiting for that cooldown to get those skills back. And the fifth and final thing I want to talk to you guys about are skill power battery packs that you can put on almost every single one of your skills. And these auxiliary battery packs can roll, I think, all the way up to 1,000 plus skill power for that particular skill. So on my turret, I actually run one that's around 1,000. On my seeker mines, I run one that's around 800 and I want to say 70. And I'm gonna show you right now the difference between running a battery pack and not on my seeker mines. So if you look at the top right hand corner, my skill power is 2,600. If I take it off, it drops me down to 1,600. So that's a big difference on the mods I can unlock on this seeker mine. So having an auxiliary battery pack can definitely improve a lot of your builds. On this turret right here, my skill power is 2,700. If I drop that auxiliary battery pack, 1,700. So this is how I like balancing my skill builds. So I can still have armor, I can have health, I can have some type of damage on my builds besides just stacking straight skill power, running around 3,000 skill power, and then running maybe a stronger hitting seeker mine or stronger hitting turret. I like having a balance between, I want to say, around 1,500 skill power, having some really good utility mod slots, and then of course on the mods themselves I run an auxiliary battery pack. So I hope this helps you guys out, and I hope once you guys get used to skill builds, start tweaking skill builds to your own playstyle, you're gonna have a lot of fun, because skill builds are so much fun. They make missions super easy, and it gives you something different to use, right? It gives you something else besides just using your weapon and shooting your weapon down range and running through missions. Skill builds can make the hardest missions super easy without even having to fire one bullet at all. Let me know what you guys think about skills in Title Update 5. I'm enjoying them. I'm having a lot of fun, and I think you guys will have a lot of fun with them too. I just want to thank you guys for all the support. Thank you for always supporting this channel. If you guys have any questions, use the comment section down below. Until the next video, nothing but skills is out.